Hey, Team Edgar, it's no surprise that right now, the course sales that are going on online and the course completion rates that are happening in platforms like Teachable and Kajabi are skyrocketing through the roof. We are seeing people create and consume online courses in unprecedented numbers right now. And it's really no surprise. I myself am enjoying connecting with people all over the world over a shared subject. However, here at Meet Edgar, as a social media automation tool, we are all about optimizing our time and making sure we are getting the most out of what we are spending that time on. So I wanted to share a few tips and tricks on what you can do to really help up level the courses that you're taking and to make sure you're getting the most out of them. And the thing is that these things that used to keep us apart, like the internet and like Facebook and social media, are now some of the things that are bonding us together the most. So if you take the time to actually put these ideas into practice, you can see the availability that online learning really has in order to compete with some of the more traditional education systems out there in these ways that you can get the most out of it and you can create really strong connections. And it's super fun to sign up for a course, right? And to have this initial excitement about the possibility of learning something new and to turn our dreams into a reality and to start a new business or pick up a new skill. But the main ingredient that's often missing to make this magic happen is a plan. I know, super sexy, but that's all it is, a plan. So the first kind of tip that I would like to throw out there is to make sure that you are getting an actual schedule that's going to work for you. And this can be something like cutting it up into bite-sized chunks. So a lot of online courses will come with modules, and we want to make sure that you don't feel like you have to take the entire module in one sitting. If that's not something that's going to be sustainable for your lifestyle, you're not going to follow through with it. So I know it's a simple first tip here, but make sure you're cutting these up into maybe 15 or 20-minute segments that you can do when maybe you set up a trigger for yourself, right? So right after you pour yourself a cup of coffee, your 15 minutes to enjoy your coffee is to watch 15 minutes of this class. It's going to compound day over day. So don't feel like you have to do it all at once. Set a schedule that works for you, put it in your planner, and make it an appointment with yourself that you're going to follow through with. I also love to make sure that you start each day by reviewing the lesson that you took in the past. Make sure you're not actually just taking a lesson and leaving that knowledge on the table. It takes that repetition, and it takes going over these concepts again after your brain has had a little bit of time to process it at sleep at night, to go on in there and review the lessons of the day before to make sure that your concepts are sticking in your brain and you're getting most out of the time you're putting into your courses. And make sure that you're actually setting up these times at a place that you know you learn best. So if you're a morning person, I myself am definitely more of a morning person than evening person. Make sure that you're taking these lessons in the morning. If you're more of an evening person, if your mind is on then, make sure you take them in the evening. It is all about setting a schedule that you are going to keep up with. I also love to make sure that you're taking breaks. It is not like traditional learning where you're going to miss something if you leave the room. So if you find yourself kind of zoning out, bring it back to the idea that you're taking breaks. And just like we've been talking about with remote work, of having a dedicated space that's your workspace, have a dedicated space that's your space dedicated to your online class. It not only helps you retain information better if your surroundings are set up in a familiar place and you're not being distracted by something new all the time, but it also, again, is a visual trigger throughout your day that can remind you, oh, that's my learning place. I haven't done my course yet. And it can keep you on your goal of actually completing your course way better. Speaking of goals, it can be really fun to gamify things during an online course. You can make sure that you're setting up mini milestones for yourself and utilizing some cool rewards that can help motivate you. Don't think that you have to have the willpower all on your own. Set up milestones and have it in your head about what you want to get out of it. I also, being someone who is very passionate about social media, would encourage you to look if your online course comes with a Facebook group or with a community on some other platform that people are going into and talking about. Many of them do have this set up, and it's a great way not only to immerse yourself in getting to know people, but you can also offer people value in there, because oftentimes people will be asking questions. If you answer them and you create a bond with someone on social media over what you're learning together, you never know what this could blossom into in the future. So you can play the long game knowing that you can create these great connections and you can start networking through your course right now. And we all know that your net worth is all about your network. So make sure you add value to the discussions going on outside of just the online course. And really, nothing beats the simple act of consistency every day. That consistency is going to compound, and there's no trick that I can give you except to make sure that every single day you get those bite-sized chunks in. And again, it will finish it, and it'll make you more proud if you're going to actually finish it in a longer time when you're retaining that information than if you just sat down and kind of glazed over the class for hours at a time. So again, bite-sized pieces and consistency and joining a community are a really great way to get the most out of your online courses. I also want to share this worksheet that is in the description of this video. So if you haven't grabbed it yet, go ahead and look to the link in this video. And it's a great worksheet that we have established here at Meet Edgar for our own online course, Social Brilliant. We're actually offering it for free right now. So if you have not actually taken the Social Brilliant course before, go ahead and email support@meetedgar.com and we can get you that free access. It's actually the flagship course that Meet Edgar was built upon. And we are going to be sharing some tips on how you can get the most out of our course in Edgar University called Social Brilliant in this worksheet. So this worksheet here, oops, shared kind of small there, is in the download that's available in the link here. And these are just going over some of the tips that I've already shouted out here. And that's first and foremost, have an intention with the course. Everything you do in your business should be connected to your why. So ask yourself, why am I taking this course? Be so specific about it. If you say you're taking the course to get better at marketing or to think deeper about your desired emotions and stuff like that, if you have an emotional tie and you have a goal to it, when you're actually taking the course, what's going to happen is your brain is going to be primed to look for the things in that course that supports your why. It's called the reticular activated system in your brain. That's getting a little bit nerdy and super sciencey there, but it truly is science-backed in that this works. If you set an intention, if you set a goal ahead of time, your brain will look for ways to make that happen. So take that to your advantage in your online courses and remind yourself why you're doing this. So in this pink box over in the upper left corner, we've got some great questions to spark for you if you haven't set an intention for the courses you're taking yet. You know, ask yourself, in what way do you want to get better at XYZ, what you're learning? In this case for Social Brilliant, that would be marketing. So ask, in what way do you want to get better at marketing? Ask yourself, why is that important to your business and to your mission? And then complete this sentence. I want to XYZ because XYZ. Have that emotional tie to it. Have that goal going in so your brain is primed for what you want to get out of this, and it makes it so much more likely you'll follow through and actually complete the course. Next in this teal box in the upper corner here, it says, set your goals. So you have your intention about what you want to learn, and now we're going to go into our goal setting. So when you know what you're working towards, your journey is way more meaningful. So if you are not someone who has set a goal on what you want to get out of this course yet, go ahead and do that. It's so important for you to build in time to your day for learning, because if you don't have this learning built in, you are the person who's becoming a ceiling on your business because you're not having that growth-oriented mindset and you're not reaching for more. So learning is definitely a goal you should have in your business priority anyway. And if you're not someone who runs your own business, if you're someone who's in a company and you're looking for ways to use work time in order to gain new skills, go ahead and set the goals with your boss or with your manager and let them know your intention for taking this course and how you're going to bring that knowledge back into the company. These things, if you're presenting them in a solution-oriented mindset, can be used during the workday, which just makes it, again, that much easier in order to complete it. So what compels you to learn and grow? Share that with your teammates, share that with your accountability partner to make it much more likely that you'll complete the course. Also, setting aside a dedicated time and space. We already went over this, but now in this bottom kind of yellow box here is going to be the part of this worksheet that is going to describe why it's so important to have those physical reminders set out the night before. So this is kind of the idea that if you want to make a habit of working out in the morning, you lay out your shoes, you lay out your outfit the night before so that you're taking away any possibility that would be the thing that allows your brain to say, nope, not going to work out today. Same with your class. Make it as easy as possible. Have your planner set out that has that first item as your to-do list there in the morning if you're going to take your learning with your cup of coffee there. Or have your notepad set out to remind you as a visual trigger in the morning to get in there and take the class. And then in this violet square down in the lower corner here, join the community. Make sure again that you're getting in there with like-minded people and actually creating a community around what you're learning. Practice what you're learning every single day, because we're never more enthusiastic about putting into practice what we learn than right after we learned it. So take these systems and make sure that you're actually going on in there and practicing what you're learning. I know these tips are really simple, but sometimes if we forget not to set up these systems for ourselves, we forget why we actually signed up for the course in the first place. So make sure you are actually respecting your goal of learning and respecting why you want to learn it, and get out there and communicate with others who are going to be pushing you towards becoming a better self and towards growing during this time. So download the worksheet there if you've taken an online course and you want to get some tips on how to get the most out of it, and email support@meetedgar.com if you do want to get access to Social Brilliant completely free right now. Laura Roeder, the founder of Edgar, is actually, it was actually her flagship course. So you'll learn a ton of tips and tricks from a proven marketer, and we're really excited to be able to share that with you guys. So I'll be back tomorrow with some more marketing tips. And today, I hope that tonight you have some really fun learning planned and some of these tips can support you in that. Thanks for tuning in, guys.